Welcome. Please find your resting place. Settle in slowly. And exhale. Release all effort. We are in a small, wooden cabin now. Deep in the quiet woods. The air is dry. And smells of pine and old, warm wool. Observe the walls. They are built from solid, heavy logs. The logs are squared and smooth. The surface is unpainted, revealing the natural texture of the wood grain. We trace the grain, running in long, slow, parallel lines. One line. Then the next line. One line. Then the next line. This pattern is stable and predictable. We focus on the hearth. A small, stone fireplace. A very gentle fire is burning, producing a low, consistent sound. Crackle. Pop. Crackle. Pop. This sound is your anchor now. Steady. And entirely contained. We feel the warmth radiating from the stones. The light from the fire is the only illumination, casting long, flickering shadows on the wooden walls. The shadows move very slowly, up and down, up and down. The movement is comforting and not distracting. We focus only on the fire and the sound of the crackling. Crackle. Pop. The scent of warm smoke is subtle and soothing. We observe the construction of the cabin. It is built of repetition. Heavy log on top of heavy log. We focus on the horizontal seam, where one log meets the next log. The seam is filled with a thin line of soft, gray chinking material. We trace this gray line from the corner of the room all the way to the window. We return to the corner and trace the next gray line, where the second log meets the third log. The lines run parallel, perfectly spaced. One line. Then the next line. One line. Then the next line. The wood texture is complex. The lines of the mortar are simple. The contrast is comforting. The rhythm is calm. We focus on the small objects of the room. A heavy, knitted wool blanket rests over a simple wooden chair. We trace the pattern of the knitting, the repeated loops, the repeated rows, row after row, loop after loop. The texture is rough, but the weight is secure. We sink deeper into the security of the quiet cabin. The only sound is the fire and the faint, low hum of the outside silence. The rhythm of the logs, one on top of the other, continues the repetition. One log, the next log, the next log. We turn our gaze now toward the window. It is small and square. The wood frame is thick and dark. The glass is entirely clean. Outside, the night is absolute. We cannot see the lake, but we know it is there. Vast, And still, we listen for the sound of the water. There is no sound. The lake is completely motionless, reflecting the deep blackness of the sky. The only sign of the outside world is the occasional, extremely soft sound of a dry pine needle falling onto the roof. Tap, tap. The sounds are rare. They are quiet. They are temporary. We return our focus to the glass. We observe the single reflection of the firelight on the pane. The reflection is distorted, wavy, moving slowly as the fire flickers. The movement is passive, requiring no thought. We allow our eyes to relax, tracing the movement of the light reflection, up and down, left to right. The reflection is warm. The glass is cool. The contrast is calming. We breathe in the pine-scented air and breathe out all effort. We are safe, secure, and perfectly alone. We focus our entire attention on the sound of the fire now. We listen to the exact sequence of the burning wood. There is the sharp, quick sound of a small pocket of air escaping. Pop. Followed by the slow, continuous sound of the surface charring. Hiss. Followed by the deep, rhythmic collapse of a piece of wood falling. Thump. The sequence is random, but the sounds themselves are predictable. Crackle. Hiss. Pop. Thump. We focus on the hiss, the low, steady sound of the combustion. It is the sound of uniform energy, a steady drone. Beneath the random crackles, we allow the mind to focus entirely on the hiss. Uniform, steady, comforting. We shift our focus to the shadows. The flickering shadows on the wall are now longer and softer. They are fading as the fire settles. The movement is slowing, becoming minimal. We notice the texture of the stone surrounding the fire pit. The stones are rough, gray, and perfectly still. They absorb the warmth and hold the heat. We are entirely warm, entirely safe, entirely still. The sound of the fire is taking you deeper and deeper into rest. We notice a small, simple wooden table beside the chair. It is unadorned, made of smooth, light-colored pine. The surface is entirely empty, save for the faint circular marking left by a cold glass. The mark is a faint ring of perfect, pale uniformity. We trace the perimeter of the faint ring around and around, slowly, steadily. One perimeter, then the next perimeter. The repetition is gentle and passive. We shift our focus to the legs of the table. They are perfectly straight, perfectly parallel. They run vertically, from the floor to the tabletop. We follow the vertical line, up and down, up and down. We look at our hands. They are resting gently on the soft blanket. The weight of the hands is heavy. The muscles are relaxed. The only action required is the slow, continuous movement of the chest, rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling. The movement is slow. The movement is steady. The movement is natural. We are safe in this slow, gentle, predictable rhythm. The only action is the breath. The only sound is the fire. The fire is now at its lowest point. The glow is minimal. A soft orange haze. The crackling is almost gone. The room is entirely quiet. The air is still. The only remaining sound is the faint, distant hum of the forest silence. We allow the stillness to fill the mind and the body. Feel the peace of this quiet corner. You are perfectly still. You have arrived at your destination. The head is heavy. The eyelids are heavy. The mind is heavy. We let go of all observations of the table, of the logs, of the fire. We release all effort of listening, or seeing, or thinking. We allow the muscles in the face to go completely slack. The tongue rests flatly in the bottom of the mouth. The eyes are fully rested. We focus on the simple, vital action of breathing. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. You are perfectly safe, perfectly still. You have arrived at deep, restorative sleep. Let the complete absence of effort guide you now. Your journey is over. Your rest is complete. Now, sleep deeply. Good night.